if we go back in the history, it was 1997 when IBM's DeepMind beat the world chess champion. Then in 2011, IBM's Watson defeated Ken Jennings, the Jeopardy champion. And chess and Jeopardy are two very intricate human skills. But I leave it for the audience to answer, did those products deliver business value? Did Watson or DeepMind displace groups of people off their jobs? And if the answer is no, then back to Maria's point, I don't think the threat to the workforce is from Gen AI. It's from people who will learn quickly to master the use of AI and do the work better than you. That is the real threat. And I think that's what Maria touched, that the knowledge workers have to embrace that and look at the potential of improving themselves using Gen AI. Otherwise, the threat is from their peers who do it faster and better than them, or who mastered the Gen AI to use to improve their work.
Thank you so much, Ram. Thank you for adding that bit. While we have with this, Ram, I've got a question for you. How has generative AI affected the manufacturing industry altogether, specifically the industry?
So for manufacturing industry, there are two aspects. One is, as I call it, inside the factory, and one is outside the factory. Inside the factory is where you design the product, you manufacture it. And that's where Gen AI will play a role in shortening the product development cycles. So in combination with digital twins and ability to generate scenarios of how the product is used, how it interacts with the consumers, that generative AI will help in shortening those cycles, because often today products are manufactured, they go in the field, then the feedback comes, then the product is improved, and those cycles are much longer than the consumers expect. Of course, companies like Apple's, they have mastered that, and then they can keep improving their products in 1 year cycles because their products are connected to them all the time. They can very quickly see how the product is being, like iPhones are being used by the consumers. But that's not true for many products which are not connected, where the feedback is not quick. Then you have to simulate, accelerate your product design. The second aspect is when products go out in the field, especially critical products, long-lasting products which have big impacts. There, the predictive maintenance aspect of it, that's where I believe Gen AI will play a big role in augmenting that work. So today we understand predictive maintenance through IoT and through data that goes through discriminative AI to see whether this product will fail or not. But those are few well-known cases where, and based on the understanding of the product, or as we call it, physics-based analytics. So that is fairly mature. But there is a lot more potential in understanding what we call the math-based analytics, where you get streams of IoT data, time series data, environment data. And that's where I believe generative AI will help in looking at the patterns. It will help us provide insights, which can then be packaged into a better suite of predictive maintenance, asset optimization, such as operating a machinery at lower fuel or more efficiently, more safely, and helping to convert the unscheduled downtime into scheduled downtime. So I think that's where over time generative AI will deliver value, but shorter term I see it more in the product innovation and shortening of the product development life cycle.
It's interesting to see how generative AI has still managed to find its way to get into regulated industries. We have a fireside coming out where we talk about how generative AI is transforming healthcare, for example. Sunil, you're hosting that one for us. And manufacturing is another big domain where I'm sure not already another disruption is to happen. I've got a broader question to bring before all of you. how do we measure or validate the accuracy of results of what we get out of the generative AI ones? Go for it, Dennis.
Okay, so I just want to share some experience quickly because Clint wanted to say something. I don't know how to say this because, let me put it another way. Industry 4.0 has been around like for 15 years. And there's an undercurrent that we don't see here, and we haven't spoken a lot in this conversation, is machine to machine, where we don't need humans at all. So let me go back to a huge food processing corporation, and I'm not going to say the name, where you don't need humans at all. I mean, even for product development, you have everything that's being consumed on the shelves coming in. So you have the statistics, then you have machine learning programs to get your statistics, then you send the orders into the factory. The factory, there are no, I saw like 5 workers in a huge thing like St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York. There are like 5 people in there. And I say, where are all the people? Are they on strike? No, there's nobody there. So there's a little thing called Europe where social security, people cost a lot of money. So they're getting, if machine to machine is excluding people, it's really big. Like I had a panel discussion 10 days ago, and I didn't want to mention it during the panel because I didn't want to get people angry in France. I went home, but a corporation that had like 300 people working on things for newspaper, out of 300, they fired 200 and replaced it by an AI. So I would say machine to machine is the surprise. On top of your generative AI curve, there's a shock. There's a shock, a psychological shock between what we expected AI to be in science fiction and maybe long ago, and then all of a sudden you're discovering that you can be replaced by it, and anyone can be replaced, especially where people cost a lot of money. So I just wanted to add that little thought there to this wonderful conversation on how to upskill, because France is specialized in outsourcing and optimizing personnel, and Germany is the same. I know that, Italy. So here in Europe, people cost a lot of money. So let's keep Industry 4.0 in mind. That's all I wanted to say. Clint can take it from there because he wanted to speak about it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I said in the back channel here in the hosts chat that I had something to add to the topic, and then the more and more that Shyam spoke, the less and less I had to say because he covered it very well. And then you came in bat cleanup, Dennis, very well also. But I'll just simply add a short point to that, in that, yeah, like things like asset management, turning unscheduled downtime into scheduled downtime. All of these things go along with what I said earlier about security, right? That you can equate that from an industrial perspective to safety as well, because yeah, you have a lot of machine to machine communication already in the process logic controllers of the PLCs or controllers, and in the way that all of that works. And so one of the things that, since I do come from an industrial background as well, one of the things that we're working on researching are how to improve asset inventory and validation, how to improve logic. So being able to predict, and this is using, predictive analysis, not just the machine learning portions, but also, again, using that larger contextual basis and knowledge base for quick analytics, and being able to, being able to analyze that, right? So being able to determine with trained models and understanding the process, each individual process, being able to look at a large, vast knowledge base and say, hey, this particular process logic could be improved. The programming within the PLCs, this could be improved, right? Or being able to do the predictive analysis on what might cause an outage and things like that, what might cause a safety issue. Being able to use these things in your process hazards analysis, your PHAs, your HAZOPs, so all of your safety studies, being able to augment human ability And again, it goes back to augmentation, right? Not replacing. I've heard this thrown around so much, which is, AI is not going to take your job. Somebody who knows how to use AI is going to take your job. But I don't even buy into that. I just think that if we keep it in the proper context and we're using it to augment our abilities, we can make so much headway in the industrial space with predictive analysis, safety analysis, and all of that. So that's my 2 cents.
I think to me and to all the attendees out there, it's so useful that we're able to see the landscape from where you see it. It's really helping me at least to see where things are, how things are taking up shape, and how we need to upskill ourselves to get there and then develop, have a better project outcomes, build better AI projects, which brings me to you, Maria, once again. How do we know what problem to solve? So we all are trying to bring AI, generative AI to solve and improve our projects, processes, and add value to the end user. But how do we decide what problem is worth solving and bringing in generative AI to solve and kill that problem?
Good one, a problematic one. Majority of companies right now, and I will again cite stats from different sources. It says that 60 to 80% of AI projects, they fail right now. And this is not due to ineffective data scientists, sorry to say, but due to us bringing products that no one wants to use and they are useless from the business standpoint. Which exactly is the failure in this area. So we are bringing AI into the problems that are either not worth solving. They're sometimes majority of data scientists I know, they will go with the most advanced problem that there is on the table, and they will choose the one that is, let me say, a kind of a puzzle for them, a challenge. However, from the business perception, this might not be the best choice. So how do we do it? Because I worked with hundreds of companies already on that. And we always start with, first of all, empowering business. So people who know business, who know processes, so they understand AI. What they do next? Next, they bring problems to the table or the processes that they work with right now. And we start generating projects, small ideas for the projects, where you can use either of any of the dozen of technologies, AI technologies available. Because first they understand it without coding. We generate projects and then we start prioritizing it. And this is where the fun starts, because each company will want to start with something else. And starting from my experience, starting with the large projects or the most advanced project is usually asking for a failure. You start with small ones. You start with most, let me say, expected to be successful. They are changing into so-called small, effective changes. So they are so small that, for example, companies are starting to use OCR. For them, for my clients, using OCR, I know it doesn't sound like super advanced AI, but it's effective. And for example, just adding emails from customers and adding small long chain to process it into a coherent answer. No more than that. Probably half of our listeners and audience could do it at home. And this is value for the business right now. So it's our perception usually is different from reality. So please do remember, and once again, because I'm talking to you, to people who listen to us, don't consider yourself too small or too early stage or too junior. Seriously, if you have understood what I was saying about combining LangChain with the data and using it for business, you are already there. You just need to have the next step. And please do, because like my mission is to empower people. So they start using AI for their own good and for their own career. So just my message, probably the final one, is just do it, because seriously, the business needs help in the points where they are spending the most money, and you can already do it and start helping them, and at the same time make handsome money for your own.